Hey, it's Geeky Panda here, Brandon, guys, with a video review on Shin Godzilla, or as we know in the States, Godzilla Resurgence. Now, Godzilla Resurgence, it is directed by the same person who did the Evangelion series and most recently the movies, which clearly definitely shows, but with this Godzilla movie, it is definitely different with not only the design of Godzilla and also the origin story, because it completely, negates anything from the past movies. It is its own film, basically. And also, it is more of a grounded film because it shows off a more, in a sense, realistic way of how a government would react to something like, there's an unidentified giant creature that's coming out of Tokyo Bay. What the heck are we going to do? The thing about Godzilla is that we don't start off, Godzilla doesn't start off as the big G himself. He actually starts morphing or mutating into it. It's like in a sense, a 3-tier setup going on, a 3-stage mutation setup, because the Godzilla, without revealing too much, the origin story of that is it's basically an active mutation going on because it's been feeding off of nuclear waste, which, there's still an anti-nuke or nuclear waste message in there, and we see Godzilla like morphing into like the more iconic version that we all know and love. With the art design of the newest one, like, holy crap, like, this Godzilla looks like a beast, and it definitely shows, especially with some interesting abilities that it can do, which I'm not going to really talk about too much because I really don't want to spoil it, because it's a film that you definitely should watch, especially if you're a Godzilla fan. Now, another thing that the movie is grounded in, again, with its approach, is also, how they deal with this, because it's a political setup. They have to, activate, an emergency, basically, and the weapons that they use, in past Godzilla films, it's like you got like some really futuristic sci-fi weapons, like a huge mech, laser-based weapons, all that stuff. No, this is actually very grounded. A lot of the weapons, vehicles, tanks, and all that stuff they use is actually real-world stuff that the Japanese Self-Defense Army uses. In a way, I actually like that a good bit, because it's like not like going into like some fantasy, more sort of fantasy sci-fi realm, because I know like the big G's already sci-fi enough, but it's not like going overboard with it like in the past Godzilla films. It's actually, trying to keep itself grounded. Now, with this, there is not as much screen time of Godzilla as I would like it to happen, because it's like watching the original Godzilla movie all over again, where it'll showcase certain scenes in the beginning, but you won't really see them a lot more until like the middle to end of it, basically. And it's the same thing with like the US version, because there was a lot of talking going on. I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot of talking, a lot of political stuff going on that it might turn off some people. I am just saying that out there. Though the scenes featuring Godzilla, even though good chunk of it used 3D models and animation, but it still was really enjoyable to me, especially when it's like Godzilla was going through this destruction, take on the destroying the military and all that stuff. It was really enjoyable. Now, the movie score is also excellent, and the one thing I loved about it, which the movie score stands on itself, but it also uses some of the original score from the past Godzilla movies, which I thought it was a really nice touch. And it's like, shows like, yeah, we know where this came from, we are going to honor it. And it was just combining the old score of the past films with the new Godzilla it was like match made in heaven, basically. Now, with my review, I'm going to give it a solid 4.0 out of 5. While there were some things I'm like, again, I like to see more showcasing of Godzilla. There was a lot of talking going on there, but it was still a very enjoyable movie. Like, it was very critical when it came out. There was Japanese fans loved it, and here in America, the reviews were mostly positive, but still, it's like you got, I believe, like Roger Ebert gave it a 3.5 out of 4, which I was like, damn, he really enjoyed this Godzilla movie. And for any Godzilla fan, it's really enjoyable, but for those who are not a fan of the series or not really a monster movie type fan, it's going to be very understandable that it's going to be hard for you to grasp. It's because it might seem a little corny at times, but it's not something that it's like, if you're a fan of, you should be fine, but if you're not, it's going to be a love it or hate it type of film. But overall, I cannot wait for what the next film is going to be coming out of Japan. It's just you know, we got the first film now. I'm like wondering, like, okay, you know, because I'm not gonna say a lot of things about the story, but there's just, you got to really pay attention because they say certain things. I'm like, wait, what? So, other than that, that's my video review on Shin Godzilla or Godzilla Resurgence. Post down in the comment box if you also watched the movie, and how did you think of it? Also, don't forget to hit that like, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. This is the Geeky Panda here. I'm out. Stay geeky, my friends.